So I took a loss and then got back in. It was the same trade I did, just playing out, but essentially there was two different entries and one played out. And then the second one, as you can see here, what is up and welcome to today's video. So we're going to film a day in the life, daily vlog, whatever you want to call it today. I'm just going to film what's relevant to what I do day to day, you know, trades taken, anything that I do that's going to be relevant and offer value. So it's going to be good. I've not taken a trade as of yet. Usually within the day I normally take at least one trade. However, that does depend on how the market is presented, what the market conditions are like. Is there a higher time frame key area at relevance there that I'm trading? There's short-term trades in there as well, but I'm mainly focused on the higher time frames and just execute on the lower time frames. That's my whole style pretty much. But I have got an order set. I've got an order set as a buy limit on euro dollar, so I'm going to see how that develops. I did have a previous order set. It wasn't triggered, but this one's probably 5 or 6 pips away. So if I get triggered, I'll let you know. If not, we'll move on to the next trade. But throughout the day, I'm just going to update you, give you things that I usually get up to and work on and what my focus is right now. So without further ado, let's get into the rest of today's video. Right, so on a typical day, what do I tend to get up to? Now, I didn't want to focus this video entirely on routine. I wanted to give that a bit of a break because I've done that in previous videos. If you want to check that out, you can, but there isn't too many different things that change every 3 months, every 6 months. So I'm always consistent with my routine and nothing really changes apart from subtle little tweaks every now and then. So I wanted to focus this video more so on the trading aspect, more so of, okay, if I take any trades, I'll let you know what I'm thinking, and just more in the moment thought process, if that makes sense. So should be good. But what does my typical morning look like? Well, usually get up between 5:30 and 6, usually the majority of the time, and that's when I'll just refresh for the day. So my main focus as soon as I get up is just to keep my mind in a calm and collected state of mind, because the most important thing for me is to tap into the flow. Tap into the flow as much as possible when I'm on the charts. I get certain days where I'm out of the flow and sometimes you can't help it, but there are things to put in place to essentially counteract that and just put yourself in the best situation to be able to tap into that flow. Because I find, you know, the way I trade and my trading style in itself, you know, there's a bad connotation with discretionary trading, but I need to be in the flow to perform well, if that makes sense. So with that in mind, I need to be able to tap into the flow. If I'm out of the flow for that day, you know, that's when I tend to either go on tilt a little bit or just mess up decisions, and that's where the trades that I look back on and I'm like, shouldn't really taken that trade. So for me, tapping into the flow state, although it's a cliche term now, is one of the most important things. So a quick 10 to 15 meditation session at the start of the day just helps me calm my mind, just puts me in that environment to perform well for the day, and then I'll just literally just get ready for the day. Spend half an hour, 3/4 an hour getting ready for the day, shower, everything else, you know it. And then I'll grab a coffee. So I usually have black coffee because I intermittent fast until around 11, 12. Once again, just making sure the energy within my body's in my brain so I can focus instead of, you know, when you're digesting foods early on, I just find for myself personally, I'm not as focused. I don't have as much energy in my brain. So I'd rather just focus on getting the chart working early, and then I can eat after that later on in the day. So that's for me personally. But then once I'm on the charts, I'll do a breakdown. So I trade 2 pairs. So I trade euro dollar as my main currency pair, and then I'll trade pound dollar as well. Now, because it's such a small watch list, I've got my focus on just those 2 pairs. You know, there could be a week where pound dollar is just kind of sideways, isn't really doing too much. There may be a couple of trades here and there, but euro dollar is performing really well. So I'll just double down on that pair, and then vice versa with pound dollar too. This week, pound dollar's been a little bit better. Euro dollar's lining up today, potentially. So it's just adapting in the moment of the market conditions. But yeah, like I said, I will do a breakdown of both pairs. So I'll just put these headphones on, put some music on, just help myself tap into that flow as much as I can, and then I'll just get it going. You know, higher time frames to lower time frames. You've heard the whole multi-time frame analysis. It's just exactly what I do as well. And just see what the opportunities are for the day, if there are any, and then just build that story for the day of what I anticipate price to do, and then what price actually does, and then also just set myself up for the day with that. So that's pretty much what morning routine looks like. After that, it's just literally, I kind of adapt. If the market conditions are active, I will obviously be in the charts and I'll be focused on the charts. But there are certain mornings, like this morning, where I wasn't really watching too much, where I'll just be focused on other stuff. So if I've got other daily goals for the day, I'll start cracking on with them and just, you know, flow with the day almost. So in a summary, that's my pretty much morning routine as a whole. Right, so if you remember, I did have an order set in this area here, so price has come back, didn't tap into it, missed it by probably 4 or 5 pips, and then pushed to the upside. So I've just removed the order now, move on to the next trade. This was only a short-term trade anyway, so I'm not going to try and chase it or anything. And you know, the overall bearish pressure anyway is to the downside on multiple time frames, so this was just a short-term play. So I'm happy just leaving that alone for now. And yeah, let's move on to the next trade. Right, so what I usually do day to day is just time a gym session in between the markets. So because the market's quite slow at the moment, prices are within, you know, the middle of 2 key areas, I'm just gonna take this advantage. I'm gonna head to the gym, hit a workout, because I do have a friend coming down up from London, so that should be really good. So right now I'm just gonna take a protein shake, and I'm taking Huel banana milkshake. It's almost run out, we've probably got a couple scoops left. I'm gonna take this, mix it up, fuel my workout for the gym, getting the nutrition in, and then we should be all set for some heavy weights at the gym. So let's hit the workout, and then when we come back, we'll take a look at the markets and see what is developing. Right, so just got back from Costa, just grabbed a latte with almond milk, so just drinking that now. And I would spill that. What is that? Anyway, I want to talk you through a couple different things. So, haven't taken a trade so far today. Ideally, it would have been nice if we had for the camera, but I'm not going to just take a trade for the camera. You know, it's more so about trading in alignment with my plan, and if there's no setups for the day as of yet anyway, and the market's looking quite slow today, then I'm not going to force it. So that's the main key point about this clip here. But took some trades yesterday. So I took 2 trades on pound dollar yesterday. So if you cast your eyes and look here, so let me just zoom in. So on the funded account, what I've been doing is, with the new stuff that I've been learning over the past 6 months, I didn't want to force it and I didn't want to jump in too early, because that would be stupid, especially with, you know, if you're taking losses, it's just pointless. I want to protect the capital. The main goal is always to protect the capital. So I felt ready over the last couple of weeks to kind of go in, but on low risk. So what I've been doing, last week I did 0.1% capital, and then this week I've scaled it up to 0.2% capital, because last week went well and I felt good to scale that up this week. I'm just going to monitor this week and then make a decision of whether to keep it the same for next week or continue to scale it up to 0.3. So yeah, these are the 2 trades that I took yesterday. So first trade I took, there's 4 transactions here, but I'm going to explain because I partialed out of the second trade. So took a loss early on. So it was more than 1R, so it ended up being more than 1R, a little bit of slippage there. So took a, what was this? This was a buy on pound dollar. So I took a loss and then got back in. It was the same trade I did, just playing out, but essentially there was 2 different entries and one played out. And then the second one, as you can see here, partialed out early on, because what I usually do is I'll partial out at 3-1 of 20% of the volume. Hence this. It was a little bit under 3-1, 20%. It was a little bit under, to be honest, but still partialed out around that region. Next partial out was here, so partialed out again. I believe that was, when was that? I think it was like 5-1 maybe, I think. And then I partialed out again, a little bit more. I don't think that was 5-1. I'll have to have a look in a bit, but it was like 5-1 and then 7-1 maybe. So happy with that. But yeah, those are the 2 trades that I took yesterday. But you have to be patient. Like on euro dollar now, you can see price. So this is on MT4. So what I'm looking for price to do is essentially potentially retest this 1.17115 region, and then at that point I'll take it upon myself to observe price being the keyword, see what happens in that area, and then if the opportunity presents itself to get short, then I'll look to get short. If not, then I'll just happily walk away from the markets and leave it. But this is the hourly chart and it doesn't really look like anything's gonna perform today. It's already 3:20 p.m. and usually the majority of my trades come between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. I don't usually trade after that. It's not that I won't, I will, but they have to be high quality trades, especially with the volume being lower in the afternoon. So just going to monitor price, and then pound dollar as well has just been going on a bit of a run, as you can see here, but nothing's really happening so far. So all we're doing is just creating a deeper correction, deeper pullback. If we do start to get some pullback, so we start breaking down, then I'll happily look for further opportunities. But at this point in time, this is not within my, you know, criteria to look to enter these kind of trades. So I'm happy just sitting on the sidelines, waiting for price to develop a little bit more, and then I'll be looking to get involved further. Right, so it's now it's now 4:30. So time is ticking away. No trades today. So I'm happy just leaving the markets really. I am monitoring pound dollar, but I can't see myself taking a trade today unless it's high quality. So I'm just going to leave that there. But what I will do, because I haven't taken a trade on camera today, if I do take a trade or trades tomorrow, what I'm going to do is put a section towards the end of this video, and just to give you that live management thought process. And because I just think it's super fascinating when you see someone else managing trade, not necessarily how they manage the trade, but the thoughts, the emotions they're thinking at the time of that. So I will do that if I get the chance, and if I do take trades tomorrow. But yeah, right now, because the markets are quite quiet, I'm just leveraging the opportunity to just work on other stuff, which is what I always do. So what I'm working on right now is I've been digging into some ASR. So ASR stands for Advanced Stealth Review, which is basically going through my trades taken, figuring out certain patterns, commonalities, and just really refining stuff that needs to be refined. If it doesn't need refining, cool, but if it does, something to work on. But yeah, what I've been focused on for the first 6 months, like I've said in previous videos, has just been my technical ability, improving my technical ability to a level that I'm happy with for now. And then my goal right now is to work on my B and C game that was lagging behind, so psychology and self-image, and just tracking my daily performance, really just focusing on those 3 areas, to be honest, and really bringing them up to a stage where it impacts positively my overall performance. So that is the goal, and that is what I'm focused on right now. So yeah, I wanted to give you a quick tip actually. So something I've been focused on for the last few weeks, a part of the last few weeks, put it that way, is something I picked up from With Winning in Mind, which is called a recovery strategy. So quite often what you'll get is, let's imagine, visualize taking a couple of losses in a row. How do you feel, right? Sometimes if it's completely part of your plan and you've been in the markets for a while, there's gonna be very little emotion there, which is great, right? But if you do make some rash decisions, let's say you didn't stick to your plan, or for some reason or another you feel yourself almost creeping into that tilt mode where you make bad decisions, you're not completely in flow. For me, I got something from that book which is important, which is the recovery strategy. So basically, you know, when that happens, where you feel like you're on tilt mode or you're just about to, having a set strategy, a basic process you can put in place to really just click back into balance. Because you know, it could happen with losing trades and it can happen with winning trades. Same with winning trades, where if you take a great winning trade, that expectation can almost carry through into the next trade without approaching the market from a balanced state of view. So her recovery strategy is essentially certain things you can put in place to essentially bring you back to balance. So I'm not going to share fully mine because it's quite private, to be honest, but one of the things that I will do as one of the 3rd or 4th step is just go back through some winning trades. This is more so if I've taken a couple losses, right? So go back through some winning trade screenshots and just really get my mind to seeing the winning trades again. That's something that actually helps me, and everyone's going to be different, but that's something that helps me. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, I'm going to crack on with some more work now, maybe go for a walk in a bit and catch up with you guys in a bit. On the charts, just about to do some analysis, and we also have a little nighttime snack as well, which is a smoothie. So we've got raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, passion fruit, all blitzed up. So that's a late night snack. But yeah, just about to dig into some analysis. It's just gone 10 to 9, and yeah, pretty happy with the day really. I know there was no trades taken, but I stayed patient. I was waiting for the opportunities, nothing occurred, so we move into tomorrow. Simple story, you're not going to get great trades every single day, so it happens. So yeah, move into tomorrow, looking good. The markets do look like they need some pullbacks, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting day to end the week. Usually I like Fridays. There's a big connotation that always has been around, you know, Mondays and Fridays aren't the best days to trade, but Fridays are pretty good for me usually. Mondays can be slow, especially London, but Fridays, I like Fridays, especially London session. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, and if anything develops, I'll let you know. But yeah, usually what I do around this time, it's usually a little bit earlier than this. But yeah, I'll sit down for the markets for like 20 minutes, go through some of the pairs, so pound dollar, euro dollar, just mark everything up for tomorrow, and just get myself ready for the trades, opportunities, anything that develops really. And then before this, usually what I'll do is I'll go back through the past day of price action and just literally just have a look what's happened, screenshot anything I need to, run through any trades, etc. It's just a quick process. It's almost like back testing daily, but it's a quicker process, so that keeps me sharp. But yeah, usually I try and get in bed for like 10:15, 10:30. Usually I'll get in bed for that time, or the latest like 11, but tonight I'll be in bed for 10:15ish. Get some sleep, because sleep is important to perform well. You need good sleep. I try and get between 7.5 hours, and I tend to perform pretty well on that. So it's all self-awareness. Trading game is all self-awareness. So I'm gonna crack on with this, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Right guys, so it's now the morning after. So I took a trade before, just the one trade, and it did turn out to be a loss. Happy with the trade, to be honest. I did get the reaction from the entry point, we just never followed through, so is what it is. But I'm just going to show you quickly on here what it looks like. But yeah, if you look at this, this is what I was showing before. I was trying to capture it on the camera. So price was around here at the entry. Price just moved above that, wicked down, and then pushed down. So price is starting to move in the direction that I would have thought in the first place anyway, because I was expecting this low to be taken out here, which it has now. But it's just one of those things, you know, you can't win all the time. It's just one of those. Put the camera back. There we go. It's just one of those. You can't win all the time. For me this week, there's been a few good trades in there, but it's been more so a quiet week compared to last week. So we move into next week and just keep improving. There is a few things that I still need to improve on, I feel like, especially from this week. I don't feel like I've been in the flow as much this week, to be honest with you. So I definitely need to figure out what's been going on this week, tweak that. And yeah, but apart from that, I feel good, to be honest. Things are improving, moving in the right direction. It's just every so often you just gotta check yourself and make sure you're in the right headspace. So yeah, but right now I can't see myself taking any trades for a bit yet anyway. Nothing's really developing, so I'm just staying patient, but eating some fruit while we're waiting. Just about to do some ASR after that, and then move into some other things for the rest of the day and hit the gym as well. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I know there's no like exciting, you know, trades to cover and stuff like that, but it's not always going to be that way. So yeah, is what it is. It's the reality of trading sometimes. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you've enjoyed like the thought process behind different things and just me vlogging the entire day and what I usually get up to, plus the tips as well. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you soon.